well, how does it feel to have a monster for a president? You know, they're just horrified and shocked. And I thought about that, and I realized that in the United States, so you're absolutely right, Washington Post, New York Times, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, they all had him as a monster and, you know, unfit and all that. But we have other voices. In the US, you could listen to Rush Limbaugh, Laura Ingraham, Fox News, Sean Hannity, et cetera. So you could get both sides in the US. Now, if you favored one or the other, you probably filtered that out, but you could hear the other voices. But abroad, you don't get Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham. You don't hear those voices in the UK and Australia. You do get CNN, CNBC, and NBC, et cetera. So I was just trying to imagine what it would be like to be someone abroad getting 100% of my information from the anti-Trump, you know, biased media and having no other voices. No wonder non-Americans think he's a monster. He's not. I mean, a little vulgar, you know, flashy. You can criticize him, but
sounds like a Wall Street trader.
He's not. Yeah, he's not Mussolini. He's not Hitler. And I think his CEO experience will serve him well. Now, as far as his policies are concerned, and this is interesting because so many people couldn't get past the personality that they never looked at the policies. Now that he's our president-elect, they are looking at the policies. Well, guess what? Low taxes, less regulation, big spender. What's not to like, right? So this is he wants to do $1 trillion of infrastructure spending. So, you know, John Deere and Caterpillar go up because, you know, you need heavy equipment. He wants to do defense spending. So Lockheed and Boeing and Raytheon and all these companies go up because of the defense spending. He wants to get rid of regulation. So banks are up because he's going to repeal Dodd-Frank. Pharmaceuticals are up because he's going to repeal Obamacare. Consumer non-durables are up because he's going to cut taxes and consumers will have more discretionary income. So everything's up. It's like happy days are here again. I mean, there's euphoria in the stock market because, hey, this is great. There's a problem here, which is the numbers actually don't add up. And this is the Reagan playbook. This is Ronald Reagan, 1981. What did Reagan stand for? Lower taxes, less regulation, and Reagan was a big spender. He was not a fiscal conservative. Yeah. So you have the Reagan playbook, and actually you have a lot of the same advisors. Who's in Trump's inner circle? Well, you got voices like Steve Moore, Larry Kudlow, Art Laffer, Judy Shelton. These were all veterans of the Reagan Revolution. And so, David Malpass is the other one. He's one of the big ones. So they were all in the Reagan administration at various stages. So you got the Reagan team, the Reagan playbook, happy days are here again. But there's several big differences. When Reagan came in 1981, January 1981, he was sworn in, interest rates were 20%. They had nowhere to go but down. Trump comes in, interest rates are close to zero. They have nowhere to go but up. The other thing is that the debt to GDP ratio when Reagan was sworn in was 35%. He took it to 55%, which you go from 35 to 55, that's a 60% increase in the debt to GDP ratio. But Reagan had the fiscal headroom. Reagan could do it because that was available. Trump's coming in, okay, interest rates are zero, so they probably have nowhere to go but up. And the debt to GDP ratio is 104%. Trump doesn't have the fiscal space. He can't put cut taxes and put $1 trillion of spending on top of $20 trillion of debt. That'll push the debt to GDP over 110%. We'll look at Greece at some point. We'll have a sovereign debt crisis in the United States. So my point is, Trump's got the Reagan advisors, he's running the Reagan playbook, but he has very different initial conditions. Reagan had tailwinds, Trump has headwinds. And I think when the market sees that the spending is not going to materialize, that they're not going to be able to do it, that the Fed is raising interest rates, that we're going to get a very different result.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps. You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.